hear from the member for Dunkley.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Deputy Prime Minister. What challenge is the Albanese Labor government facing as a result of the former coalition government's mismanagement of the defence budget?
Order. Give a call. Order. Members on my left and right. Give the call to the Minister for Defence and the Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, can I thank the member for her question and just say how honoured I am to serve in a caucus with her. Mr Speaker, the former government's, at the heart of the former government's defence strategic posture was making announcements. When it came to announcements, they were a formidable power. They would make announcements at the press club, they'd make announcements at defence bases, they would make announcements with hoopla, they'd make announcements with Top Gun music, they would make announcements about prospective capabilities, but they'd make announcements about announcements, and when the announcements were finished, they would brief the media and we were presented with visions of future next-generation weapons and intercontinental ballistic missiles. But what stood behind those announcements was a different story, and often it was absolutely nothing. The 2016 Defence White Paper provided for $30 billion of procurement expenditure through to the decade ending in 2026. Within 2 years, those opposite had quietly reallocated $9 billion of that out of defence. Last March, those opposite made a $10 billion announcement for Red Spice, a critical cyber capability for the Australian Signals Directorate, but it had in it an $8 billion hole. They announced an uplift of 18,500 Defence Force personnel, but they only put aside money for 12,500. The Integrated Investment Program is the 10-year procurement schedule for defence. And after a decade of those opposite making announcements without any funding, it is estimated that the over-programming of the IIP next year will be 32%. Mr Speaker, what that means is that almost 1/4 of what defence plans to buy, it has absolutely no money for. That is the legacy that those opposite have left us. It is literally all announcement and no delivery. It is as if they thought that they could walk onto the battlefield with a megaphone and announce our adversaries into submission. Well, Mr Speaker, our government is very different. We are serious people, making serious decisions about serious capability with serious money. And that's what we've done with the acquisition of nuclear-powered submarines. That's what we'll do with the Defence Strategic Review that we will release next week, because we understand that it is in the making of hard budget decisions that we actually acquire the military capability that we need as a country to keep Australians safe.